Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Welcome to Cigars and Coffee. I am your host, James. To my left, as you can see, it's Tim.
Yep, that's me.
Tim, welcome back to the program.
You keep firing me every week.
And every week I keep bringing you back.
Damn it.
Every week. And I don't know why, but I do.
Nobody else is applying.
That's true. Nobody else is applying. As you can see by the rabbit air up there, I think it's in the last video, we are back at Habano Cigar Lounge in Davenport, 432 East 4th Street, Davenport, as I look at my phone to make sure that I'm getting the address right.
We'll know if the pizza doesn't show up.
If the pizza doesn't show up.
It's wrong.
Yeah, we just ordered some lunch. We're back here. We're drinking this great coffee that they've got here at Habano, which is fantastic. And it comes in these Drew Estate Tobacco Special coffee mugs, which is fantastic. I like these. I need to get a couple for home use.
Yeah, you just got to remember to bring your purse so you can stick it in there.
I don't have a purse, and I don't like Tim. As you can see, we've got a couple of new pieces of equipment, and that is directly because of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, Patreon supporters. Because of all of your support, we're able to buy all of this great equipment that allows us to have video, have these mic stands so we can put things on a table and you don't hear it every time we do.
I think you're still going to hear it.
I don't think you are.
No?
Go ahead and put it on the table. Let's just see. No.
Testing in 3.
Well, don't slam it. Yeah, you can't hear it.
No. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so these are nice.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Patreons. We do appreciate all of your support. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/Simply Stogies and look for a new type of Patreon type thing soon. Beginning of the year.
Beginning of the year.
Things in the works. Looking forward to it.
I was like, where are you going with this?
That's where I was going with it. Let's talk about what we're smoking real quick before we get into pimping some other stuff on creativebraincandy.com. I am smoking Aroma Craft because we're going to be talking about boutique cigars today.
Okay.
We talked about this on the drive here. We're going to talk about some boutique cigars. We'll talk about the article. If my brain will finally start firing. It's not like I haven't
you're
had enough
misfiring.
coffee. Oh, man, you have no idea. We'll talk about the boutique cigar article that's up on simplystogies.com, the top 10 boutique cigars you must try. But I'm smoking Aroma Craft in Temperance. I'm not sure what size, but it's always a solid cigar.
Yeah, I didn't look at the size. I probably got that's probably a Toro, but this is the Drew Estate Fat Bottom Betty.
Oh, I want to try those.
Well, I've asked 100 people, are they flavored or whatever? Yeah, they are, but it's...
Is it really flavored?
It's got a little bit of a flavor to it, but it's still a solid smoke so far.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so.
I was more worried that I was going to light this thing and the whole lounge was going to smell like potpourri.
No.
It doesn't.
No. At least not yet. We'll see when it gets to about halfway through the cigar. While you're here on the internet looking at us on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe down at the bottom. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Every subscription counts. You'll get notified when we have new videos up. And there's always new stuff going on as I light my cigar, and that hopefully won't show up on the audio too badly.
Yeah, who knows?
Right.
It's okay. We're in a lounge.
You're
going to have some background noise.
So real quick, there are a couple of new hosts at Bad Gamers Anonymous. If you go to creativebraincandy.com, you can check out all of the great podcasts that we have there and streamers like Bad Gamers Anonymous. Bad Gamers Anonymous, there are 3 guys. There are Aaron. I remember Aaron. He's the new one.
Okay.
And then there's another new one that I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. I do apologize. And Kat. And they're always, if you're into video games,
in all fairness, they are new.
They're brand new.
It takes a little bit to remember names.
So go check them out, creativebraincandy.com, and I apologize. I'm sure I won't hear the end of it. But if you're a video game fan, you've got to check out Star Wars Squadrons. Tim bought it, hasn't played it with me yet.
Not yet.
It is a fantastic game. I play on PSVR. It's a lot of fun.
I'm interested I should Google it. I'm interested to see how the play is in VR compared to just the standard controller, because I did play it just by myself, and I feel like I need to be like a helicopter pilot to steer these fighter ships and stuff, but whatever. I will get on there. I'll play. I will suck. It'll be fun.
It will be fun. It'll be a good time. You can't suck any more than everybody else.
Oh, it's possible.
I don't think.
Remember, I'm not a bad gamer. I'm a horrible gamer.
Well, that's probably true.
It is.
All right, so today we really want to talk about boutique cigars because I think it's something, for me, it's
something I feel like you're a little passionate about it.
I am passionate about it, but it turns into such a clusterfuck so quick in the community. I mean, it really does.
It turned into a clusterfuck as we were driving here just kind of talking about it.
Just the two of us,
Yeah.
it turned into a clusterfuck. And so I kind of want to talk about what I think is a boutique cigar, what makes a boutique cigar a boutique cigar. What is boutique? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about various brands. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about cigar snobbery.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about community. So buckle up, guys. This might be, besides the last one, I think the last one was pretty important, talking about the CRA and getting involved. This one might be it might be a little more controversial.
It might be.
So, yeah.
There's only one way to tell.
Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen.
If you have one.
So let's go. So what is a boutique cigar, right? What makes a boutique cigar? Is it... and there's a great article, and I say great because I wrote it. There's an article.
Shameless.
Shameless. It's a shameless plug. There's an article on simplystogies.com right now. It is the top 10 boutique cigar brands that you've got to try, right? And those, it's my preference. It's my palate. It's my opinion. Your opinion may vary, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the 10 that are on there are the 10 that I think of almost immediately when I think of boutique. And it ranges from Castagli to McAuliffe to Paul Gamarian to Epic Cigars, Isabella, all these companies that you may not find when you go into your humidor into your B&M, but you've got to try them because they're different, they're unique, and in my opinion, I think they're some of the best cigars on the market.
Yeah, you did pick a few good cigars. There's even a few on the list that I have not even tried yet.
Right.
And that's because they're probably boutique enough that they're only in your humidor and I can't find them anywhere.
Right. Well, and that's true. So some of these cigars you'll have to go online and purchase because you're not going to find them in your local B&M. You're not going to find them in a lot of people's local B&M.
Right.
But I tried to pick a wide variety. So, for example, I didn't pick Roma Craft. Is Roma Craft boutique? Sure. I think they probably are. But I didn't put them on there. Is Drew Estate boutique? We're in a Drew Estate lounge. Mm-hmm. Is Drew Estate boutique? I think they started boutique.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure they're still boutique.
I would say probably not. I think they're big enough now. They've got enough lines. I just can't. I can't see Drew Estate still saying, yes, we are boutique.
Foundation, boutique.
Mm-hmm. They do have Foundation here.
Mm-hmm. Tatawahe. Is that boutique? I know it started boutique, and it has a rabid fan base, much like Roma Craft.
Right.
But is that boutique? To me, boutique is more than just having another factory roll the cigars for you. Boutique is more than just buying tobacco because you don't grow your own. Boutique, to me, is more than small batch. Now, boutique is all of those things.
Yeah.
But boutique, for me, above all else, is quality over quantity. So the argument could be made that Tatawahe is still boutique because they put out quality cigars. Whether or not you like them, whether or not they're hit or miss, they're still quality every time. I think Drew Estate, the argument could be made that that's still boutique because they do put quality over quantity. It doesn't matter that they have Hoyo de Nicaragua or, you know, the what is this, the Fat Bottom Betty.
The Fat Bottom Belly,
It doesn't matter that they have all these different brands within Drew Estate. I think the argument could be made that it's still boutique. But when I talk boutique, it has to encompass, for me, all of these different things. Now, does that mean that boutique brands don't want to be successful? They don't want to be the next Drew Estate. They don't want to be the next Tatawahe? No. I don't think that's the case. Do they want to be as big as those brands and have as many lines as those brands? Maybe not.
No, I think that would become, I mean, some people are a boutique brand and they're content with that. Maybe they could ramp it up a little bit, but all they want to do, in my mind, is create a great quality cigar that's readily available. That doesn't mean we want to get to the point where we're making 100,000 boxes a year.
Right. No, I completely agree. And if you go check out the latest episode of Simply Stogies, I sit down and I catch up with Lee Marsh from Stolen Throne. Now, Stolen Throne, boutique, as Jeremy Castagli says, boutique as fuck. I love that. I really do.
Catchy.
It is catchy.
We should do a Simply Stogie shirt with
that
just
says
like boutique as fuck.
Yes. If you want that shirt, let me know.
Let us know. Yeah,
because I'll definitely hire somebody to design it and put it on there. I think that's great. Boutique as fuck. Stolen Throne, boutique as fuck.
Will we have to pay a royalty to?
I don't know. I'll have to ask Jeremy. I hope not. But when you talk to Lee Marsh from Stolen Throne, they've got 2 regular production lines right now. They have the Crook of the Crown, and they have Call to Arms. Those are the 2 regular productions, which, by the way, the review for Call to Arms is up, and hopefully the Oath Taker, which is not regular production, it was limited edition, Cigar Federation exclusive. Maybe that review will be up. I don't know. Look, I know I'm behind. I'm trying my best to catch up. There's always a ton of stuff to do for simplystogies.com, and I'm the one usually trying to do the majority of it. So apologies, trying to get all that up. But their boutique is fucked. They've got 2 regular production lines. They have a 3rd regular production line, the Phantom Queen, that's going to come out next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but, COVID.
Yeah.
So, come out next year. That's boutique as fuck. Two regular production lines. That's it.
Yeah. And do you know how many boxes are produced a year by any chance?
No, I don't.
Yeah, but still, 2 lines.
They're sold out right now.
Right. You're not going to find it in every brick and mortar. So they're probably producing 25 to 50,000 a year.
Maybe? I would imagine maybe more than that.
More than that?
I think so. The Crook of the Crown took off last year. They're a brand new company, right? That is boutique as fuck. And Lee Marsh is their blender, and he doesn't blend. It's a great interview. Go check it out. Simply Stogies on all of your podcatchers. Or go to simplystogies.com and podcast episodes. It's right there. He blends based on what's available to him. And he lets that tobacco speak to him. And then, he lets his creativity go run wild with it, right?
Sure.
And I think that's a great way to do it. Whereas companies like General Cigars or General and Altadas,
the big boys.
your Cohibas, your Macanudos, your even Alec Bradley to some extent, which I don't think that they're owned by General. Maybe they are. I don't know.
I don't know. We looked it up, though, one time.
We did. Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel.
I want to say it was Altadas. Or were we looking up?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Rocky Patel, not owned by, I don't think they're owned by General or Altadas, right?
I don't think so.
So are they boutique? Absolutely not. He owns his own factory. He grows his own stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So not boutique. Does that mean they're bad cigars? No. In today's cigar society, and I think I've said this on the podcast. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's the best time to be alive as a cigar smoker because any cigar that hits the market is a good cigar. There is no room for a cigar that is poorly constructed, poor quality to make it, right?
Right.
But when you do small batch, when you do boutique cigars, there's a lot more passion for what you're doing, I think, that goes into it. AJ Fernandez puts out a ton of cigars every year. He blends a ton of cigars, and he blends not just for himself, he blends for everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. Do you like AJ Fernandez cigars?
There's a few that I do.
There's a few that I do as well. But when I talk about Stolen Throne, when I talk about Castagli, you guys know I'm a Castagli fanboy. There's not a cigar in their lines that I don't enjoy.
I mean, I haven't had all of the cigars in the line, but what I have had has been solid every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah, and we were talking about this on the trip out here. We both love the Daughters of the Wind, the Pony. I never have to touch them up. It's a perfect burn, perfect smoke every single time. Every time.
And I think that goes to the passion that the team that Jeremy puts together and Kellner Jr. And Vlada from everywhere, from seed to cigar, from seed to shelf. There's a lot of passion for what goes into Castagli, into Stolen Throne, into Isabella. And look, again, you want to talk boutique as fuck. Isabella is boutique as fuck because they roll their cigars in a motel in Miami.
Which is interesting because I didn't even know that. I just discovered this bit of news.
It was on a
this morning.
blurb on Half Wheel when Half Wheel did a review for the Time Traveler LE 19.
Okay.
And they kind of, I don't want to get into it, but they kind of made it sound like us bloggers don't know what we're talking about. But it's a good cigar. I like the Time Traveler. I don't care. That's just it. We talked about this too. Taste is so subjective.
It is, yes.
There are some things when it comes to a cigar that aren't subjective. Construction, the quality of the tobacco, the aging of the tobacco. That's not subjective. That is objective. But when you talk about how a cigar hits your palate and the flavor notes and what you taste, that's very subjective. That doesn't mean that there's not a true flavor to the cigar, but I might be able to pick out something that Tim's not.
Most likely.
Most likely. Right. So that's what I mean. That's what I talk about when I talk about boutique. That's what I mean. There's more passion put into it. Now, is Rocky Patel not passionate about cigars?
Absolutely he is.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely
He is one of the most involved people in the cigar industry ever. And he's very personable. And he's a nice guy. And I don't begrudge him. In fact, I bought today, while we were here, a Rocky Patel. This is the Rocky Patel quarter century. See if we can get that up there.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll focus.
Maybe. Well, we'll see when I edit this, or when you edit this.
Yeah, well, just one of us is going to edit. We'll probably put up some flashy words on who didn't edit it.
How did you know I did that?
Because I watched it.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
So,
did you not think it was funny?
I was just like, whatever.
Whatever.
Is that the best you got?
That is the best I have.
You just wait.
Yeah. Can't wait.
So
looking forward to it.
What if you watched the last episode? I was supposed to edit, and then at the end, we realized that I forgot my adapter so that I could copy
dongle.
My dongle, because I'm a Mac user and I have to have that. And then so we decided, well, I'll tell you what, you go ahead and do all the editing for Habano. I'll do it for David's. But we're not even going to stick to that now. I'm just going to edit this one because I can get the files. I can edit it. And you already have a whole bunch of shit on your plate.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, he complained about it the entire trip. Anyway, the quarter century is a Rocky Patel cigar. I don't know, when was this released?
It's brand new.
Brand new.
I hate him so much.
And so anyway, we've had quite a few people actually.
Phil Ledbetter, the owner of
solid
Up Down Cigar in Chicago, said that is a fantastic cigar. So on his recommendation, I'm trying it. Like if a cigar lounge owner says to me, "You've got to try this cigar," I'll try it, whether it's a Gurkha or a Rocky Patel.
I almost picked up a Gurkha. They don't have the black dragons here, but they do have the dragon. And I almost picked one up, but I decided I really have been wanting to try the Fat Bottom Betty forever. So I went with that one.
And I think that's a great segue into the community and how the community views boutique, because there are really two camps. There's the camp that will only smoke the Alec Bradley, only smoke the Cohiba Red Dot, will only smoke the Rocky Patel, will only smoke the Gurkha, and they'll stick to all of the General and Altada stuff. And then there's the camp that only smokes boutique. And the guys who only smoke boutique always, and I mean this sincerely, always put down the guys who don't, who will smoke the Gurkha, who will smoke the Rocky Patel, who will smoke the Alec Bradley, who will smoke the whatever. And I think that's an issue. I think that's a problem.
It is. I mean, it alienates a lot of people from being able to. I mean, if you're going to smoke cigars, and we had this discussion on the way up, many discussions on the way up, and I know 3 years ago, I was that guy. Like, I felt like I knew a lot about cigars. I knew everything that was coming out, and what I didn't realize is that I had my online magazine blinders on. And then I met you, and you just opened me up to this whole another world of cigars that I would never have even known about. But at no point in time did you say, oh, you smoke CAO or you smoke Rocky Patel. You're just like, hey, man, If that's great, if that's what you like, smoke it. There's nothing wrong with that. But you didn't alienate me because I hadn't tried all these new things, which my taste buds are grateful for. My wallet, not so much.
Not so much. And there's usually a cost divide between boutique and your Altadas and your General.
Yeah.
But again, in the cigar community, in the cigar industry, there's not a bad cigar out there. There's just not room in the market for it. So everything that comes out has to be constructed fairly well. Like, that doesn't mean that everything's constructed great.
Sure.
For sure. There's duds everywhere. But for the most part, I mean, not everything can be a Davidoff. Not everything can be a Padron.
Well, and you wouldn't want that.
No, I don't think anybody would want that, because then you're only smoking $20 or $30 cigars. But
And only a handful of profiles.
I don't know if we've talked about this, and I hate mentioning names, but in cigar clubs that we've been in,
We don't have to mention names.
you've seen this firsthand, where you've been kind of chided for some of the stuff that you have enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily say that
Ridiculed.
I don't even necessarily think that I was personally ridiculed. I would post a picture of a cigar that I was smoking, and somebody was like, yeah, okay, great. That's not a whatever the hell. It just seems like when you get into these online cigar communities, it's all about these high dollar, hard to get stuff, like the look at me, look at what I got.
They're called waggle sticks.
Waggle sticks. That's the term that you use. And that's great if that's what you're into. I mean, I've met plenty of people in my life that are all about the, I really don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but this cigar was $40, so that makes me cooler than you.
Right. And I think that's an issue, because it puts a bigger divide in the cigar community than what there needs to be. And when somebody like a Phil Ledbetter from Uptown Cigars says, hey guys, this Rocky Patel is really good and you need to try it.
You try it.
You try it.
Yeah.
You should try it, and you should be open-minded. Look, I get it. And we talked about this. I talked about this a little bit with Lee Marsh on the last episode of Simply Stogies. Being the face of these small cigar companies, these boutique as fuck companies, that you put out something that is phenomenal, like the Crook of the Crown or the Call to Arms. When you put something like that out, you immediately get a fan base, and you get a rabid fan base. And I think Pete Johnson of Tatawahe gets that a lot. There are a lot of Tatawahe fanboys, a lot, and they have their own club, the Saints and Sinners Club, right? SNS, and the forums there can be toxic.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of, and I see this with the McAuliffe ambassadors. It's McAuliffe. Yeah,
right.
Great. McAuliffe puts out some good sticks. They put out some really good cigars. But even Dan Thompson from McAuliffe has said, the president of McAuliffe, he's like, look, I smoke Davidoff.
Right.
That's my favorite stick is a Davidoff.
Well, and I've even seen it on their ambassador Facebook page. People have posted pictures of non-McAuliffe cigars, and they will delete it. They'll rip it right off the site. Why? We're all fanboys of this product or this company or whatever, but understand that there's plenty of other people out there. There's other things out there.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a great example of that is what the guys from Illusion do. And the guys from Illusion, whenever they're at the trade show, they don't take the band off. If they're smoking Roma Craft and Temperance, they want you to see that they're smoking Roma Craft and Temperance. There's a swagger that goes with that for me. If you're a cigar company and you don't mind your employees smoking something else, like I get your reps are out there and they're promoting, they're selling their brand. If they're smoking something else, yeah, take off the band, right? Because you don't like that. It's a bad look. But if you're at the trade show, like everyone's in this together. The cigar community's in this together. The cigar industry's in this together. Support one another. Show everybody what you're smoking. There's a swagger that goes with that, because it's like, my stuff's good enough, it doesn't matter. And we as a community, as cigar smokers, we need to understand that. And we need to be supportive of one another. Look, Tim smoked a lot of stuff before he met me that I wouldn't smoke. I still won't smoke. Like I have zero desire to smoke a lot of the stuff that Tim smokes. It doesn't mean that it's bad. And it doesn't mean that that I won't try it or I shouldn't try it. Right? I don't mind that he smokes it. But what's so funny?
Oh man, that was just like that was Tanya Harding. Like right
at the knee.
Right at the knee. But I know that next time I bring you cigars, I'm gonna slip you some of those yard gars that.
But there's nothing wrong with a good yard gar.
No, and we actually talked about that too. Yard gars are they're essential. They belong in the community. And I used the reference when I'm out on the boat. I'm not going to smoke a $20 cigar when I'm out on the boat. No. I want a $3, $4, $5 cigar. So if it falls out of my mouth and drops in the water, oh well.
Exactly.
Not a big deal. Or when you just want to smoke a cigar, but you don't want to have to pay attention to everything. You just shut your brain off.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Like, shut your brain off and just smoke and just be and have the phone away from you, and you're not trying to show off. Look, I get it. The cigar community is a lot about showing off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at any cigar, and mine included, Instagram page. It's all about showing off. But we all know Instagram's not real life.
No, it's not?
No.
Damn
I
it.
promise
No.
it's not. Cigar community is the same way. All these clubs that we're in, that's not real life. I'm not always smoking a Davidoff. I'm not always smoking a Castaglia. I'm not always smoking a Stolen Throne. I enjoy Nub Cameroon. I will have a Nub Cameroon
Solid
any day of the week because it's good and I don't have to think about it. And I know the flavors and I know that I like them. I don't have to pick it out and I don't have to be like, oh man. And so we as a community have got to stop judging people who post that stuff on forums, who post that stuff in clubs, who post that stuff on Instagram. And we have to, it's okay to bring somebody into the boutique and be like, hey, you've got to try this Stolen Throne, or hey, you've got to try this Castaglia, or hey, you've got to try this McAllister, whatever it is. We can do that, but we can do it in a way that isn't so fanboyish, and we can do it in a way that isn't so over the top and judgy. Like, I can't believe you're smoking that Rocky Patel, for Christ's sake.
But that can be flipped around too. Just because you're smoking all your Davidoffs and all your fancy boutique as fuck stuff, if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you got to try this stick, and your mentality is, oh, I know that brand, fuck them, they don't, whatever. If somebody in the business that knows their shit recommends a cigar, just try it. You have to try it.
No, if you're friends with
like
somebody.
You might not.
Right. If you're friends with somebody like Tim, right? Like Tim and I are friends.
I'm here.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If Tim says...
I'm the friend you want to fire every time.
Every time. If Tim says to me, you've got to try this Gurkha Sherpa.
Which I think that happened.
It did happen.
Yeah. Have you tried it?
No.
Yeah.
Or this Gurkha Black Dragon. Whatever. It's okay to flip him shit.
Yeah.
And be like, Gurkha, really, dude? Really?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to do that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the honest judgment that sometimes comes from that. That sometimes comes from, you've got to try this brand new Rocky Patel. I really like it. Oh, well, you're an idiot. That's dumb. They're not an idiot. They know what they're talking about. That's their palate. They really like it. Does that mean that you shouldn't say, hey, you know what? I'll give that Rocky Patel a try, but you've got to try this.
Right. Oh, there you go.
You've got to try this Foundation Charter Oak or this Foundation Havana Seed. You've got to try this El Wawense. You can do that.
Yeah.
For sure. But you know what? Give something a shot. Stop all the judgment. Stop all the complaining. Stop all the bitching. Like, I'm really tired of it. I really am. The community can be toxic enough as it is. To see that kind of stuff in forums, to see that kind of stuff in clubs, to see that kind of stuff in a lounge, there's no place for it. There's just not.
Yeah, it's tobacco. I mean, we do stuff with the pipers too, and that's, hey, you're enjoying tobacco. That's all that matters.
Like, I still flip pipers shit.
Right.
But I love them. They love tobacco. They are brothers of the leaf. They just enjoy the leaf in a different form than I do.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Not a thing wrong with that. So, smoke what you like.
Yeah, smoke what you like. If it's almost kind of like we can take the dollar amount out of it too.
Oh, please.
Yeah, because
I'm just as guilty of this as anybody else.
We all are. But I mean, I have like there's cigars out there that I really like that are, you would think would be $10, but they're only $6. And to me, even though it's a $6 cigar, I put it in the $10 range all day. So I don't have, if you give me a $10 cigar, I don't have a problem giving you this $6 cigar, because to me, it's on the same playing field.
Absolutely. I think that I give you a lot of crap because you hate smoking $20, $30 sticks.
Yeah. Well, that's a mental thing for me.
Sure.
Because for me, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. You've given me some really great sticks at the $20 price range, but I also know that there's $6 sticks that are really good too.
That are really good. There are $3 sticks that are really good.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you buy them. Cigars International, wherever, whatever you can afford. Like, not everybody can afford a $30. Look, I can't afford $30 sticks all
But
the
you
time.
do it anyway.
I have a problem. Somebody help me.
I did. I got you another Winador.
You did. Thank you. My wife is so grateful for that. You have no idea. She's so grateful and thankful that you gave me something else to fill up. And now here at Habano, they're running a raffle right now, $20, and you get put in for it'll hold legitimately 2,000 cigars easily. It is a giant. Would you call it a Winador?
It would be built like a giant Winador. Yeah,
it's one of these stand-up units.
It's like 6 foot tall.
It's taller than I am, and I'm 6 foot. So that's got to be a 6.5 foot.
Yeah.
It lights up on the inside. You can put an Oasis in there. It'll track the humidity and the temperature.
So for $20, you can put my name and phone number on a card.
Or mine.
No, mine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Quad City area, definitely stop by Habano and do that. And Habano's got a ton of great cigars. Like, every time we come in here, there's something new. They've got 708, which is boutique as fuck. How is that Fat Bottom Betty?
It's not bad. I don't necessarily know if I would buy another one, but if somebody gave me one, I would smoke it. I mean, it's definitely not.
It definitely has a different smell.
Yeah, it's not as potent as like the acid line or anything like that.
Zoom in on my face when I make that face. It does have a different smell. It definitely smells infused or sweetened.
Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely different than a regular tobacco, just burning tobacco smell, without a doubt. This Roma Craft and Temperance, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It pairs well with the coffee. I really like it. It's constructed well. It's a little wavy, but you know what? We talked about this too when you go into a humidor.
I think our pizza's here.
Go grab it for me, would you?
All right.
When you walk into a humidor, Roma Craft and Temperance, always solid. Always a solid stick.
See, I've only had a few Roma Crafts, and they're just not up my alley. I know you wanted me to try that one. I didn't.
Look. So
I think this guy here, though, is a really good balance between a standard cigar and the acid line. It's not super.
Let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. And we didn't talk about talking about this, so this is going to be.
This will be interesting.
Right. How influenced are you on what you try based on the people who run the company?
I don't think as much now than I was. When I got into smoking cigars on a regular basis and really got into the culture, it was the nub live, the nub family. Like, nubs were the new big craze, the original nub stands. And then through nub, I was introduced to Pete Johnson and several other.
That's a great story when you were in Vegas.
Yeah. It's not for this. It's not for here. That's a Patreon story.
That will be a Patreon.
That's
story.
a Patreon story. I'll give you that. So yeah, it was there. It's a lot about that culture and what's even McKelliff, when they started up the ambassador program, the both of us were, let's jump on this. This is awesome. Now I look at it and I'm like, I don't care. I just don't. It's not. So it to me, it's more about the cigar and the story. And so interesting enough, and I think I texted you last night. I did. You know, you get done smoking your cigar, you take your band off, you throw it in your jar. I have an empty cigar box that I throw all my bands on, and then my wife is making like a cigar shadow box out of cigar bands.
Yeah.
And she like stopped because every time she grabbed a band and she's trying to figure out where to put it in the shadow box and everything like that, I could tell a story about almost every single band in that box, who gave it to me or what store I bought it from, or if that's the only one of those I've ever had. I can remember, oh, I liked that cigar. It was just incredibly interesting that I had no idea that I remembered all these things just based off the band.
Well, and I think that's interesting because a lot of folks who sell cigars, and we talked about this if you go back and you listen to the episode at Capital Cigar, the last episode with Jeff Fry, their humidor coach, he said people gravitate towards cigars that there's a story behind.
Oh, yeah.
And that they can latch onto that story. So for me, Roma Craft does not have a fun story. Like, I'm not a big fan of some of the folks that work at Roma Craft. But they make great cigars. Mm-hmm. They make fantastic cigars, and they're boutique. They only have. They don't have like, so when you're talking about boutique, like McAuliffe has what, like 16 brands?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is an insane number of brands to have,
especially for a fairly new company.
For a fairly new company and to be boutique, but you know they teamed with the Sanchez Gomez family, or Gomez Sanchez.
Yeah, one of the two.
I forget, but you can check it out, McAuliffe.com, and the whole story's there. They teamed with them, and so they've got, you know, they've been in the industry and doing their thing for quite a while. So it was easy for them to have this many brands. But Roma Craft doesn't have 16 brands. They've got some LEs. They've got some really good stuff, like the Aquitaine, the Neanderthal, all of that stuff. I like the Intemperance. Like the rest of the stuff's typically it'll put me on my ass.
I haven't had that one yet.
This is pretty medium, pretty good. Like I said, pairs well with coffee. I really dig it.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, you'll have to try it. So that's it. I think that's all we want to talk about, isn't it? Are we done here?
You can always just keep going to simplystogies.com because we're always doing reviews and putting stuff up.
There's always reviews. In fact, look for coming up on simplystogies.com. We've got a brand new reviewer, a freelance reviewer that's going to start doing some budget sticks. We just talked about budget sticks and how
I'm excited for that.
Yep. So look forward to that. And he'll be doing some of the general and some of the Altada stuff that we don't always hit.
Yeah. Well, I think that, that's just what everybody focuses on the new stuff and the stuff that's maybe harder to get everywhere.
Yeah. And while that's great, that's not what everybody smokes all day, every day. They'll smoke the Gurkhas, they'll smoke the Alec Bradleys, they'll smoke the Perdomos. Mm-hmm. And they're not bad cigars, guys. No. Stop alienating everybody. Stop pushing people away. Stop pushing people out of the hobby because you don't like what they smoke. It's ridiculous, and I think as brothers and sisters of the leaf, we are better than that.
Well said.
So there you go. Join us next time where I don't know what we're going to be talking about. But we will be coming to you from David's Fine Tobaccos in Des Moines. And look for on the 1st of November, there'll be a brand new Simply Stogies episode with Diana Hutton, who is the owner of Perfect Dash in Minneapolis, or Inver Grove is technically where it's at, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm heading up to Minneapolis tomorrow, so that'll be a good time.
Yeah, I got to go back to work, so I can't do that.
You enjoy that. Today is what? Columbus Day?
It is.
Or Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever one you're celebrating. We hope you did it safely. And if you're working, sorry, we're not. We're at a cigar lounge smoking cigars.
Yep. I'll smoke this one for them.
There you go. I'm James.
I'm Tim.
Stay smoky, friends.
Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.